Just about to start the Garden of Death quest. It's a new one that was added just not so long ago actually, and we're going to have a wee look at what this quest entails. And I was actually not so long ago looking out this way as we looked for our Clue Hunter garb, our attire for Wintertot, as some warm clothing. Actually, now that I think about that, it's quite some time ago. But I was thinking that this area here looks quite incomplete and that there could be some other content coming here. Maybe eventually this opens up and there's a southern, southwestern part of Zaya. And this quest I'm going to do quite slowly, just enjoy it because I've never done it before, given that it is a new quest. So let's see how we go. Read all the dialogue, see what's on offer, try and figure it out myself. There's actually no clue guide on it just yet. As you can see, there's no option to start the quest helper like there is with all the other quests. So we're going in a little bit blind, but the wiki is populated, so at least we can follow along with that if we get a little bit stuck. But without further ado, let's get it started. I believe with that we have the quest completed, which is actually 10,000 farming experience, which is pretty huge. 190 quest points completed, and that brings us up to, there could be more to find. Perhaps you should continue exploring and see if you can fully translate the stone tablets. Okay, interesting. So we could learn a bit more. 38, I think we were on about 35 beforehand. We now get toadflax and double willow roots, and double willow roots is very, very useful in fact, because we're looking to do our enlightened journey, which requires willow roots, or willow branches, one of the two. Actually, I think it's branches, now that I think back to it. But the good news is that we have a bunch of willow trees and apple trees planted. So why don't we go and harvest those as well for a little bit more farming experience and see what we end up with. So I'm going to go do that, and then we'll see what we get. First tree of the rung brings us to this willow tree here in Lumbridge, getting us 1400 experience, taking us all the way to 39 farming. A couple of trees here gives us the levels. Orange trees, butcher leaves, and quadruple oak roots. Nothing really that useful. We'll say thank you to our friend there, and then we will pick some of our willow branches as our next use. You need to wait for some branches to grow. Oh, we actually need to wait a little bit of time. Okay, so in that case, we're going to get all the experience, and then we'll come back a little bit later to get the willow branches. And with our apple tree, there is 40 farming coming in. 41 farming coming in. Just goes to show the power of the birdhouse runs to get us these seeds and the early tree runs that we can do, of course. So more birdhouses mean more seeds, more wood cutting that we've actually done. We got quite a few seeds out of the 67 that we got as well, and of course we want to do our kingdom shortly to get access to that too. But I think we might get another level or two. Of course we're not planting our next ones just yet. We want to wait until we harvest those lovely willow branches. And that right there is why we need to consider getting some better compost. We're only using our basic compost that you can buy at the stores. We'd love to get the higher level stuff, especially the ultra compost. The earlier that we get that, the better off. So we might just go and harvest a whole bunch of that at some point, but for right now this will do, and we've got enough alive that we will be able to harvest those branches anyway. Just about to continue with my great demon task in the wilderness. We need 89 more kills, so we're going to be using our Ivan's Blast for that. I think we've got about 1,000 charges left on that. Let's just quickly check. There we go, that is indeed accurate, but as we can see, we're lacking any kind of dueling rings, and that's very useful to be able to get to the Ferrex Enclave. So we have picked up quite a few gems during our travels, including the gold bars that we got for smithing our gold ore that we purchased earlier. So why don't we go and make a whole bunch of emerald jewelry into dueling rings, and also some more games necklaces. But we'll probably keep quite a few there. As we can see, we already have 22 games necklaces, so maybe we just ignore this for now and just focus on our emeralds and maybe our rubies for dig site pendants as well. Well, there's a pretty welcome addition to the collection. 29 ring of jewelings plus the one that I'm wearing, so 31s in total, plus the 20 dig site pendants. Honestly, pretty good. That should keep us sorted for quite some time. We've left a few gems in our bank just in case we need them a bit later. Also have no idea where all these diamonds came from. Probably a few good quest rewards there, but oh well, we'll leave it for now. 47 Slayer coming in. Almost missed that one. Well, I technically kind of did miss that one. Brine Rats are now an option, but if we check in here, we also managed to pick up a Rune Medium helmet. Not too bad. A whole bunch of adamant helmets or adamant weaponry as well. What else happened recently? Well, we actually got attacked in here. Thankfully, I managed to get out. We got tally blocked, but I managed to run through to the west, get out here, run a little bit away, and log out, which was very useful. He was coming from the south, and there was actually another, I assume, his friend coming from the west, but they didn't use their pincer movement at just the right time, and he was still a bit too far to the west when he was coming through, so I managed to get out and log out. So a little bit sketchy. We've got 73 more to kill, but we're getting some good experience along the way. Also a bit of magic experience, not a huge amount. There we go. He's back again, so now we just run one more time. And he's trying, this is the exact same guy, so you'll be able to see the exact same situation of how I logged out last time. And just like that, we're out. Well, we're back killing those greater demons after another PK or two tried to kill us. We've been quite good about just, ducking in and out of this cave over here, and I've actually changed my camera angle so now I can look at the typical spots they're coming from. But as you'll see in my inventory, I actually picked up a new clue scroll, a hard one in fact, so let's see if we can complete this. I haven't checked it just yet. Can we do it? Okay, Wilderness Bandit Camp. Well, we're actually not too far from there anyway, but we will absolutely try that clue out and see if we can get some more rewards out of it, shall we? First step completed, let's see if we can complete the second part of it. AIR, I believe that's possible as well, let's go. Not really sure what I should be praying, but hopefully we can make it through this fight. It's going to be a little bit sketchy, in fact I think I go for the, oh my god, 19 was the hit and we are dead. Okay, thankfully we've got spare stuff in the bank. We don't lose the hard clue, which is the most important thing. Ooh, that was a bit of a trickier fight than I expected. Maybe we need to bring some of our tank gear and protect from mage, I think. So let's take our rune out of the bank. Alright, take two. This time, protect from mage up. Speak to an examiner at the exam center. Easy as. Alrighty. Beautiful. So nice to have recently made up a whole bunch more dig site pendants, allowing me to teleport right now where we need to go. Just to the south there, and then we can continue on. And next step is Wilderness Demonic Ruins. Okay. Zamorak Wizard again. We're not going to take our rune in there in case we do die. That's quite deep wilderness too, but I guess we'll give it a go. Alright, the good news here as well is that we get a little bit of prayer regeneration if we stand here. I believe it's somewhere in the middle here. I don't know exactly where it is. These demonic symbols seem to indicate roughly that area. It is a good day when you're able to complete another hard clue scroll, especially when you're a lower combat like myself. 71, there are still so many steps that we cannot complete, but this hard clue was pretty easy, especially due to lots of random locations and wilderness locations that we had to do. So without further ado, what do we get? Ooh, Zamorak Coif is huge, as is Black D'hide Chaps, a whole bunch of alkables, and Lunar Isle teleports might be pretty decent later on, so all in all, well, that's pretty big. I'm pretty happy with all of that. Thank you very much. I also wasn't expecting that and wasn't able to capture it, but there's 47 prayer just from burying some of these. They give 25 experience each for the ashes. Figured why the hell not while I'm picking up everything else. There's 65 magic coming in. Water Wave and the third age wand. Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? I doubt it, but at least we're getting some levels. Literally that same kill that we got the 65 mage on. We got another hard clue. Can we complete this one? Ring of Life, Uncharged Amulet of Glory, and an Adamant two-hand sword. So the Amulet of Glory is the main issue for us. We are nowhere near the level required to get glories from Hunter, nor are we close to crafting. I don't think it's worth saving this one. I don't think it's worth grinding for it either. Running a little low on runes as we only have 20 more to kill. Why don't we go through our bank and pick out some of the goodies that we can high alch and then see what cash we end up with. Starting off with a lot of the adamant and rune items that we got from our task and from our clue rewards. And that goes to show the importance of our early level Slayer and especially our hard clues. 109k just like that. And also we didn't alch the 2 runeful helms that were picked up from this one just yet, so why don't we do one of them. Again, I like to save one copy of everything just in case it's used for a hard clue. There's 130k plus the 19k that we have there. Why don't we go and visit our rune shop in Varrock and pick up some more death runes so that we can finish out this task. Saving some of our cash, but there's another 400 death runes and a whole bunch more fire runes, which of course we need to use alongside it. I think that should be enough for the remaining 19 or 18 greater demons that we have. And then we'll see what happens from there, you know. Worst case scenario, we can always go back to Guardians of the Rift and see if we get some more from the rewards crates there. There we have 48 Slayer coming in, no massive milestones, but we did pick up a little rounds key not too long ago, so we will absolutely open that up in short order. And there's the end of the task. Worked out pretty well because our staff only has 100 charges left, so we're going to have to run through and pick that up. Oh, a Revenant Cave Teleport, very, very nice. We will have to go and recharge the Cybin staff, but why don't we quickly go and see what our next quest is, not next quest, next task for Slayer, and then we will figure out what to do from there. Now we still have quite a few quests that could be quite useful for our account, but of course we would like extra Slayer levels, we would like to switch across, maybe start ranging some enemies as well, and of course we want to get our melee up so that we can eventually get into our Warriors Guild and maybe get our Dragon Defender. For our next Slayer assignment, we have 69 Pirates. Okay, that should be a pretty easy task in the Deep Wilderness, of course. We can just head into that area, possibly chuck on 3 items that we don't care about losing, or 3 items as the ones that we care about losing, and everything else can be junk, but Should be an easy task. And before I forget, we also have a Laurent's key. Why don't we go and open that up and see what we get? And do we get lucky with this one key that we have? 4 Torstal seeds, not that great for the immediate future of the account, but I'm sure it'll be useful later on. It's not worth a whole lot though, is it? Ah well, Torstals will be useful for the end game of this account. Very quick and very easy Slad House. There's 69 parts, nice. Very little experience, but quick points. Quick points are of course very, very good. So we can skip but also get some other good rewards later on in the track. Moss Giants is absolutely fine as well. I think we should be able to take that out with our Addy Armor. First ever Longbone on the account, that's an interesting addition. Wasn't really anticipating that, but that can be some useful construction experience later on. And there's a Mossy key coming in. The Mossy key could be quite useful if we try and take on I don't actually know, I've never actually fought her myself, but still quite a useful pickup. Hopefully we don't die and lose it. Famous last words, but I can't really bother banking just for one of these. I don't think it's worth it that much. And a third Mossy key just before we get a strength level 2, very nice timing. And there we have 62 strength coming in. I'm actually very happy that we pick up these Mossy keys because it'll be our first actual foray into quote-unquote bossing, so maybe we try that out of the Slayer task, who knows. 60 hit points coming in, another good level to have reached, and more importantly, arguably, is 1250 total, which allows us access to the 1250 total level worlds. So a few new worlds unlocked to us as well. You'll also see that we pick up another Mossy key in this inventory, 20 more to go, and then we finish off the task. And there's 49 Slayer. 8 tasks completed, 170 points total. What's our next assignment? 109 lesser demons. Well, I think we might be using some more Ivan's blasts in there, so we might need to go and stock up on some death runes. But right now, why don't we try and take out Bryophyta? That's right, Bryophyta? I don't know. We looked up her name, let's try that. We've got a few Mossy keys, let's just double check how many we have in total. And we do have 4 attempted kills, let's see how that fares for us. Alright, first time fighting Bryophyta, let's see how this goes. And for the first kill we have 100 lore runes, nice addition. And for kill number 2 we receive a Marantil. Well, that's pretty disappointing. The other thing that we look at is Bryophyta Novice, Protection from Moss, Preparation is key. We unlock 3 easy combat tasks, that's a pretty good start. But wow, what a disappointing second kill. Let's go for our third. I think we can do it in the same inventory even. And Bryophyta kill number 3 for... okay, some gems, not too shabby. And for kill number 4 we have Adamant Plate Bodies, high alch of 50k. Now that's one that I'm happy to have. That's right, we're back at Guardians of the Rift and there is 61 Runecrafting coming in. And there we have 51 mining coming in, no major milestone, but as you can see we've only got a few reward points so far, so you know, we'll be opening that up shortly and see if we get lucky. 48 crafting coming in too, snakeskin bandana is a little bit past where we need it, but that's fine. 62 Runecrafting coming in. Having a short break from Guardians of the Rift as I want to be fully prepared for the eventuality of 65 Runecrafting, which as we all know is the level required for death runes. Death runes of course going to be very important for continuing on with our Wilderness Slayer with Ivan's Blast, but to craft those, similar to lore runes, we need to get some quests done. This quest is Morning's End Part 2 I believe, but to do that we have to complete Morning's End Part 1, which has a 60 ranged requirement, and that's what we're doing right now, is we are picking up our range or our archer helmet here. Don't know how much it cost, it was actually very expensive, about 65k, but look at that, plus 6 range bonus, not too shabby. We now equip it with that. Again, we still don't have a necklace, so that's a bit unfortunate, but we're going to sit and chill at some sand crabs, maybe do some extra birdhouse runs along the way as well, and I might even go and pick up some seaweed spores for giant seaweed that we can do down there as well, because that would be a very useful crafting experience down the line. And of course, there's our birdhouse run to start off the day, 42 Hunter. As you can see, we are now preparing for our later crafting grinds, which no doubt we'll need to make a start on earlier rather than later. So for this, we're just going to sit underwater here in our little seaweed area. We will get seaweed spores joining in every now and then. We've already picked up 12 and planted 2 of them. So from here, we just basically stand still. I've actually brought some telekinetic grab runes just to make it even easier for myself. You know me. If I can make things easier for myself, I'm the prime candidate for that. I'm quite lazy, but you know, in a lazy person seeks more efficient method. There we go, like that. I could walk over. Oh, okay, I just failed that. But there we go. We just telegrab that bad boy, and now we're up to 13. So we're just going to keep going with this. Sit down here for a wee bit longer, and then eventually we will move across when I can't be bothered doing this any longer, and pick up our ranged equipment, and then start off our ranged AFK grind. And quite some time later, there is 92 seaweed spores, including the actual start of our giant seaweed grind. Managed to get 85 so far. We're going to leave it there. We're going to go get ready for our AFK range. Now, that was after about a 2-hour Twitch stream. So 92 seaweed spore collected in 2 hours. Can't really complain too much about that there, right? That'll keep us sorted for quite some time. First things first, of course, as we have geared up, there is 43 mining coming in, spotted kibitz, but more importantly, 1 level away from our mahogany. Is it mahogany or maple? I think it's maple, isn't it? So maple, let me just quickly check. Birdhouses here. Maple. We're gonna have to collect some maple logs here, so maybe we AFK just around that old region, you know, near Camelot. That might be the way to go. Been AFKing most of today there, ranging at our ammonite crabs, and we've gone from about 50, or actually 49 range, all the way up to 55, so a good few hours spent there. And now we need to refill some of our bone bolts, of course, because we are running a little bit low. And also, because we've reached past the point of, 50 range, isn't it? We can now go upgrade our tractor to an accumulator. So that'll be quite a nice upgrade. Let's make sure we don't waste all of our cash on this one here. And there we go, we can spend the rest of this. Now let's head over and get our accumulator. And here we have the purchase of our AFS accumulators. We'll buy a whole bunch of these, as many as we can afford really. And there we go, we got 3 in total, 2 spare ones in case I die, and that's a bit of an upgrade. I can't remember if they actually do any ranged attack bonus. They do, perfect. I'm not too sure what the old one was, but I'm pretty sure this is an upgrade. And also it keeps more of our ammunition, which is a pretty important one, so that we can save even more money in the long range, in the long run, excuse me. My AFK range training has been good for one thing, and that is for ensuring that we do our birdhouses rather frequently. There is 44 Hunter. We now can do our maple birdhouse traps. Need to go and get some maple logs. We don't have any currently. We're still using our teaks for now. Even our teaks are running low actually, so I think we just go and AFK some of that later on, but I still want to keep with the ranging for a little bit. Got a little board of ammonite crabs for our AFK range training. Let's do some more proactive range training. Whether or not this is a good idea, who knows. Lesser demons have very, very weak range defense, so I feel like this might work out for us. 57 range, almost 58 is when we're making the transition. As we know from our attack, we need about 280k to get to level 60. So that leaves us about another 60k to get there. And why not? If we can get some Slayer experience along the way, why not? That sounds like, you know, 2 birds with 1 stone, as always our mantra. So let's give this a go. If it doesn't work, we'll head back to the crabs or elsewhere. There's 58 range. The experience is certainly slower, but we are getting some Slayer experience at the same time to make up for it. We've killed about 14 so far, another Laren's Key, and of course we're getting some nice blighted manta rays and other goodies that we can take. In fact, I think we actually need to put a few of these into here. But yeah, I think it is worth it. I'm happy to have made the transition. It does mean that I have to pay more attention, of course, to my surroundings to make sure that I don't get surprised by a PKer. But I think it was the right call to switch here. So I think we'll probably stay here doing our lesser demons. Hopefully we get 60 range out of this. If not, then we'll of course see what our next task is and see if we can also range that one. Well, it was bound to happen eventually. I was AFKing a little bit too much. Oh my god, our blighted super restores actually saved over top of our green dehide, so we're gonna have to purchase that green dehide back. Good to note in future cases, maybe we don't take those. We're gonna have to rebuy some of that stuff. Is it worth it? We didn't really get that far in, only got about 20 kills before getting killed ourselves, so I don't know, maybe we just AFK the last little bit and wait until we have some better gear on that one. It is always a little bit disheartening, but at least we managed to keep our most expensive stuff. We can afford to get the replacement gear, especially with some of the items that we picked up. Look at this man here, taking the New Zealand name. Hopefully he's a good sort. I'm actually quite surprised to see such an original name like that. There we go, the man, the myth, the legend himself. 45 Hunter. Well, we're getting back at the Ammonite crabs instead of in Slayer. There's 60 range coming in. Decided not to do the Wilderness Slayer because I wanted to AFK a little bit. As you can see, 59 range, 62 hit points, 60 range. That is the requirement for all of Morning's End Part 2. I think it's actually the requirement for the one before it. I think it's Roving Elves, possibly. And the even bigger milestone there's 61 range coming in. That's the level for our rune crossbow. Now I do know that one of my group members does have a spare rune crossbow, or at least they did at the time. I'm not too sure if they alked it. But if not, we'll just go into the Crazy Archaeologist, into the wilderness of course, use our Ivan's Blast and pick one up there. Shouldn't be too difficult. That's going to be a huge increase to DPS, but one thing we do have to look into is what ammunition we can use. So yeah, we're going to have to figure that one out soon, I think. But that's going to be the end of the episode, so thank you all very much for tuning in there. Great to have your support. If you did enjoy the episode, please do consider dropping a like and a subscription, and I'll see you next week for the next episode. Bye for now there folks, see ya.